Bonjour, Minogishi Bawagan, Katie Nadizhnakas. I'm here to read you another story. Today we are going to read chapter 2 of The Velveteen Rabbit. So here's the book. It was written by Marjorie Williams and the illustrations were done by William Nicholson. So now is the time that you can go and get yourself a stuffy and you can pause the video and I'll wait for you. And if you already have a stuffy, you can just get cozy and we'll start reading right away. Okay, so is everybody ready to go? Here's the stuffy I have today. Because we're reading a book about a bunny, I brought another bunny. Look at this bunny's ears, all pink and floppy. This is a very well-loved bunny. He's very floppy and he's been squished a lot. So you might remember from last time when we were reading the book, we were reading chapter 1 of The Velveteen Rabbit, and the Skin Horse told the Velveteen Rabbit about what it means to become real. And when a child loves you very, very much, you stop being a toy and become real. And at the end of our chapter, the Velveteen Rabbit thought that maybe he was becoming real. So let's read on and see what happens. Chapter 2. It was a wonderful summer. Near the house where they lived, there was a wood, and in the long June evenings, the boy liked to go there after tea to play. He took the Velveteen Rabbit with him, and before he wandered off to pick flowers or play at brigands among the trees, he always made the rabbit a little nest somewhere among the bracken, where he could be quite cozy. For he was a kind-hearted little boy, and he liked Bunny to be comfortable. One evening, while the rabbit was lying there alone, watching the ants that ran to and fro between his velvet paws in the grass, he saw two strange beings creep out of the tall bracken near himself. Do you have any guesses as to what those two strange beings might be? I wonder if that's what it is. Let's read and find out. They were rabbits like himself, but quite furry and brand new. They must have been very well made, for their seams didn't show at all, and they changed shape in a queer way when they moved. 1 minute, they were long and thin, and the next minute, fat and bunchy, instead of always staying the same like he did. Here's a picture of the Velveteen Rabbit with the two bunnies, the real bunny rabbits. And the Velveteen Rabbit is very curious about these bunnies. Their feet patted softly on the ground, and they crept quite close to him, twitching their noses, while the rabbits stared hard to see which side the clockwork struck out. For he knew that people who jump generally have something to wind them up. But he couldn't see it. They were evidently a new kind of rabbit altogether. They stared at him, and the little rabbits stared back, and all the time their noses twitched. "Why don't you get up and play with us?" one of them asked. "I don't feel like it," said the rabbit, for he didn't want to explain that he had no clockwork. "Ho," said the furry rabbit, "it's as easy as anything." And he gave a big hop sideways and stood on his hind legs. "I don't believe you can," he said. "I can," said the little rabbit. "I can jump higher than anything." He meant when the boy threw him, but of course he didn't want to say so. "Can you hop on your hind legs?" asked the furry rabbit. That was a dreadful question, for the Velveteen Rabbit had no hind legs at all. The back of him was made all in one piece like a pincushion. He sat still in the bracken and hoped the other rabbits wouldn't notice. "I don't want to," he said again. But the wild rabbits have very sharp eyes, and this one stretched out his neck and looked. "He hasn't got any hind legs," he called out. "Fancy a rabbit without any hind legs," and he began to laugh. "I have," cried the little rabbit. "I have got hind legs. I'm sitting on them." "Then stretch them out and show me, like this," said the wild rabbit, and he began to whirl around and dance till the little rabbit got quite dizzy. "I don't like dancing," he said. "I'd rather sit still." But all the while he was longing to dance. For a funny new tickling feeling ran through him, and he felt he would give anything in the world to be able to jump about like these rabbits did. The strange rabbit stopped dancing and came quite close. He came so close this time that his long whiskers brushed the Velveteen Rabbit's ear, and then he wrinkled his nose suddenly and flattened his ears and jumped backwards. "He doesn't smell right," he exclaimed. "He isn't a rabbit at all. He isn't real." "I am real," said the little rabbit. "I am real. The boy said so." And he nearly began to cry. Just then there was a sound of footsteps, and the boy ran past near them, and with a stamp of feet and a flash of white tails, the two strange rabbits disappeared. "Come back and play with me," called the little rabbit. "Oh, do come back. I know I am real." But there was no answer. Only the little ants ran to and fro, and the bracken waved gently before where the two strangers had passed. The Velveteen Rabbit was all alone. "Oh dear," he thought. "Why did they run away like that? Why couldn't they stop and talk to me?" For a long time he lay very still, watching the bracken and hoping they would come back, but they never returned. And presently the sun sank lower, and the little white moths fluttered out, and the boy came and carried him home. So that's the end of chapter 2 of the Velveteen Rabbit. Did you like that story so far? And did you have a favorite part so far? I really like the descriptions of the wild rabbits, especially how their noses were twitching all the time. I think that's really cute. And I think our bunny liked the story as well. So next time we're going to read chapter 3, and I look forward to seeing you then. Okay, have a nice day. Mina wagawaba, man.